All right, let's create the mounting hook for our wall tile. So the rules are that we need to bring it down a half an inch from the top of your piece. And I'm going to use my loop tool, the flat side of it, to carve into the back of this. Now, one width of your loop tool is not enough, so you need to at least double that in the back to make sure, because clay shrinks. So if you just do it one, it's going to be too thin, and you won't be able to get like the screw that we're mounting them onto screws so that they can hang on a wall. And if you make it too thin, then the screw doesn't fit in there. And we also need to take these over to the side. So it's supposed to be 3 inches across. So right now it's not quite long enough. So I'm going to widen that out just a little bit more. Sorry, I'm going off screen a little bit. I'm blind, guys. I keep pulling it closer to my head. And so I'm going to clean up these little edges, and I'm going to try to make it neat as possible. My slab is about a ½ inch thick, so I know that I can go relatively deep. And even if I do go too thin, I can always go back and add some more clay. But I am going about ½ inch into it, so I'm going halfway into my slab, carving that out. And I will need to, so I've carved it out, and what I need to do now is make it so that there's actually something to hook onto, because right now there's nothing to hook onto. So my piece will just come off. So I'm going to carve a little like diagonal line with my needle tool to just kind of help me out in terms of pulling that clay out. And then I'm going to use my, let's see, what do I want to use? I think I want to use, let's try the big loop tool. Nope, too big. Let's use the smaller loop tool. I'm going to use the corner of the flat side so that I can just get underneath there and dig out a little triangle wedge underneath. And I will flatten that out with my rib tool because it is still pretty soft and pliable. Not like a big muckety muck mess. Just stiff enough that I can kind of move it around without like making everything crack and have it be awful. And I think I'll use my wooden knife now to just use that angle that I want to have underneath the edge there. That's what the nail head is actually going to hook onto. If you don't have that wedge cut out of the top, it's not going to hook on. So there's the hook part right there, and it's going about like, again, ½ inch, not ½ inch, I'm sorry, 1/4 of an inch underneath. So that way we actually can hook it onto something. And I'm just making sure that I clean it out and make it relatively even underneath there, and flattening out the surface because I want your tile does need to sit flat against the wall. Okay, so there's the little hooking mechanism that it's actually going to hold up onto. And then I can set it back down. I'll clean up all of my little like edges. Make sure that the front and the back of your piece is looking pretty. Okay, all of the potters, they always look on both sides. All right, I think that's looking pretty good.